Hey y'all, welcome and welcome back to the channel. It's Vanessa here, Vanessa Stitches. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. In today's tutorial, we are going to be making this rose hat, bucket hat. I'm not sure what to call it. It's like a ruffle hat, but you know, with the roses. It is a straightforward tutorial, very easy. I just ask that you watch the entire video to the end, and let's get right into the materials. So I'm just using this weight 4 yarn right here in two colors. You can use whatever color combination you want. Scissors, a 4mm hook, and a measuring tape. So this tutorial is divided into two sections, the hat and the roses. So we're going to start off by making the hat. You're going to make a magic ring, and then you are going to chain 3. And remember that all chain 3 in this tutorial counts as a stitch. And then into that magic ring you are going to put 11 double crochets into that ring, so that we have a total of 12 double crochets into our magic ring. So the chain 3 counts as a stitch, so you go ahead and put 11 double crochets into the magic ring. So when you have a total of 12 double crochets in your magic ring, you're just going to pull it very tight to close it. Then you are going to slip stitch into the chain 3 from the start, so that we can close our circle, and that is row 1 finished. Right, to start off row 2, we're going to chain 3, which of course counts as a stitch. And in the second row, we are going to do increases into every stitch. So into that very stitch, I'm going to add another double crochet just where the chain 3 came from, so that we have a double crochet increase. We are going to do another double crochet increase, which is literally putting 2 double crochets into the same stitch. And this is going to help our circle increase. So you're going to go into the next stitch, put in 1 double crochet, and then into that same stitch you do another double crochet. Go to the next one and just do a double crochet increase until the end of the row, and you're going to have a total of 24 stitches. So we're just doubling everything. So when we get to the end of the row, we are going to close it by slip stitching on the chain 3 from the start, just like so. And that completes row number 2. Row number 3, we are going to chain 3, of course. And then from here, we're going to increase into every other stitch. So we have our chain 3, which counts as a stitch. So in our next stitch, we're going to have a double crochet increase. So go ahead and do a double crochet. And then you're going to do another double crochet in that same stitch, which is going to give us an increase. Then into the next stitch, we are going to have just a regular double crochet, no increases. Then in the next stitch, we are going to have a double crochet increase. So put 1 double crochet, then another double crochet. The next one, we are going to have 1 double crochet into the next stitch. And the next one, we're going to have a double crochet increase, so 1 double crochet, then another one into the same stitch. So this is how we're going to do our increases for this row. You increase into every other stitch, and just to make sure that your work is okay, the last stitch will always end in an increase. So I'm just going to meet you back. Right, so here we are at the end of our row. We have 1 double crochet right there. So as just like I said, we're supposed to end in an increase. So our last stitch is going to be 2 double crochets into the same stitch, which is our increase. Then you're going to slip stitch into the chain 3 from the start to close off row number 3. Right, so to start off row 4, you're going to chain 3, which counts as a stitch. And here we're going to be doing an increase in after every 2 stitches. So right here I'm doing a regular double crochet. So we have 2 double crochets standing on their own. So then in the next stitch we're going to have an increase, and every increase after this, they're going to fall directly in between the increases from the previous row. So if you don't want to be counting your stitches, just search for the stitch which is between the increases from the previous row. So after an increase, you do 2 double crochets into the next 2 stitches, and then we're right there in the increase, and if you look at that increase, it is like the stitches in the middle. So do your next increase right there, then chain 2, chain the next 2 stitches, then into the next increase you're going to do another increase. Now you're going to make this particular top part of the hat for it to fit your head. So to get it, you take your head measurements, just take a tape, wrap it around your head, get the measurements, and then you're going to divide those measurements by pi, which is 3.14 or 22 on 7. And when you get whatever number that you have, you are going to subtract an inch, because crochet does stretch. Personally, I did make mine a little bit bigger because I've got like jumbo braids on my hair, but even though I've got big braids in my hair, I did make mine really big. I made mine like, they were supposed to be about 5 point something inches, but I increased it to like 6.5 inches because of the braids, but I found out that they were too big. So just make sure that you measure your own head and get the measurements that suit your head, so that you do the circle to be as large as your own head. That's what I'm saying. You should fit your own measurements. If you don't understand anything, please ask any questions down in the comment section. So at the end of our round, remember every round has to end with an increase. So I'm just finishing with my increase, and ending with an increase shows that you did all your counting properly. So I'm just going to slip stitch into the chain 3 from the start, and there we go. We've got row number 4 complete. I'm going to start off row number 5, and in this row number 5 we are going to do increases after every 3 double crochets now. And you'll find that the increases here fall directly on the increases from row number 4. If you just look at your work while you're doing this, you're going to find that it's easier to find the increases by following the increases from the previous row than counting, because sometimes you realize that you really can't count when you're crocheting, which is, I think, is normal for all of us. So we're just going to do 3 double crochets into the next 3 stitches. Then when we get to the 4th stitch, which is the stitch which has the increase from the previous row, we're going to do an increase there, and we're going to repeat that till we get to the end. Right, so now we're at the end of row number 5, I believe. Yeah, row number 5. We're going to slip stitch into the chain 3 from the start, and then we're going to chain 3 again, which counts as a double crochet to start, and then we are going to do 4 double crochets now, and then we're going to increase into every, you know, after every 4 stitches. So just make sure that you find like the increase from the previous row. It's easier that way. And from here, please, if you're doing like a smaller hat for like a smaller size head, I think from here you should start checking if the measurement fits your head from the mathematics formula I gave you. So your head measurements, you divide your head measurements by pi, which is 3.14, and then you subtract an inch. Yeah, so that's it. So here I was just done with mine. I really made it very big, honestly, because I thought like the braids would be like too big on my head, but yeah, I still work with it. I still work with it. So the measurement for my hat, I'm just gonna grab my tape. It was about like 7-ish inches. 7-ish inches, yeah. So that is quite big for my head. It is quite big, honestly. So I don't, even with the braids in, because I was doing it because of my braids. So make sure that you get the right measurements for yours. And when you have done the number of increases that you require, you're just going to chain 3, and then we're going to start building on the body of the hat right now. And it's very simple from here. You're just going to work double crochets into every stitch around. No increases are going to happen here whatsoever. Just work only double crochets into every single stitch around. Right, when we get to the end of our first row of no increases, or the first row of our body, we're just going to slip stitch to join, just like so, and then you're going to chain 3, and then we're going to work our regular double crochets again into every single stitch around. So we're going to keep working like this until it forms like a bucket sort of shape, like a bowl type of shape. So you're just going to keep working until, yeah, it forms that shape. So I'm just going to let you guys do that. No increases here, remember, no increases at all. By the way, this tutorial comes with a written pattern. If you do want to check it out, it will be on my Etsy shop. So I'm going to leave the link down in the description box and in the comment section so you can access it easily. So here we are, I was done with the body. And I did a total of 11 rows for the body. I'm going to show you my measurements from the top to the edge of the body in a minute. So I did have a total of 7¼ inch for my total body. Sorry, that's for the top and the body. And I'll just say that you put it on your head to make sure that it measures. Okay, just make sure that it reaches at least just right above your eyebrow for full coverage if you're measuring on your head. So that's it for the first part, which was the hat itself. Now we're going to work on the flower tutorial, and we're going to start off by making a magic ring just like we started the hat. We are going to chain 3, which counts as a double crochet, of course. And into our magic ring, we are going to put 15 double crochets in there so that we can come out with a total of 16 double crochets. So 15 double crochets plus our chain 3 at the beginning, that gives 16 double crochets. When we have our 16 double crochets, we are going to slip stitch into the chain 3 from the beginning, and that is going to close our round, and that will be row 1 for the rows. Right, to start row 2 of our rows, we're going to go into that same chain 3 space, and we're going to do a single crochet in there, and then we are going to chain 3, and we're going to skip 1 stitch, and into the next stitch we are going to put a single crochet into that next stitch, just like that. Then chain 3, and into the next, you're going to skip the next stitch, and into the third one obviously you are going to put a single crochet. So in this row, which is row number 2, we're just chaining 3, skipping the next stitch and going into the other one and doing a single crochet. And since we had 16 double crochets at the beginning, and if we're skipping one stitch now, that means we are going to have a total of 8 chain 3 gaps. So make sure that you count. Your total number of chain 3 gaps should be 8. Right, when you get to the end, you're going to chain 3, and then you are going to slip stitch into the single crochet from the front, or from the single crochet that we started with. Just slip stitch that in to join, and that completes row number 2. So this is what your row 2 should be looking like. It should have those gaps. So we should have a total of 8 gaps. To start off row number 3, we're going to chain 1, and into the first chain 3 gap we are going to put a single crochet in there. Then we're going to chain 1, and into the next chain 3 gap we are going to put 6 double crochets in there. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Into the, you're going to chain 1, and into the next chain 3 gap you're going to do a single crochet, chain 1, and into the next chain 3 gap you're going to put 6 double crochets in there. Then we're just going to repeat this pattern of 6 double crochets, and into the next chain 3 gap you put a single crochet. I'm just going to let you guys watch. Please, at this point, if you've not subscribed to the channel, please make sure you do. Give this video a thumbs up if you do like it. Share it to someone who you think might need it. And if you've got any questions, just leave me a comment down in the comment section and I'll respond to them. Right, so we just finished 6 double crochets in here. We're going to chain 1, and into the start where we had a chain 1 at the beginning, we are just simply going to slip stitch in there. You can slip stitch in the single crochet that we did at the start, that's fine. And that completes row number 3. It should have like this flower looking type of thing going on. Then you're going to chain 1, and to start row number 4 we are going to be working in back post double crochets. So I'm going to insert my hook into the petals. You're going to chain 3, then we're going to insert our hook from the back to the front, just like that, and we're going to do a single crochet. Then we're going to chain 3, then into that petal gap there from back to front you're going to do a single crochet, chain 3, into that hole there from the petals from back to front you're going to do a single crochet, then chain 3, and back to front, and we'll do a single crochet, then chain 3. So we are going to have a total number of 8 chain 3 spaces, just like we had in row number 2. So I'm just going to let you guys watch. So when you're finally done, you're going to go back to where you started, and then you're going to slip stitch right there. So you should have a total of 8 chain 3 spaces. Now we're going to start row number 5, and here we'll be doing the next petals. So into the first chain 3 space that you have there, you're going to put 8 double crochets into that chain 3 space. There we are, we have our 8. Then you're going to chain 1 into the next chain 3 space. You're going to do a single crochet, chain 1, and into the next chain 3 space you are going to do 8 double crochets again into that space. So you're alternating the pattern. It is 8 double crochet, chain 1, into the next chain 3 space you do a single crochet, and then chain 1 and 8 double crochet. So you should have a total of 8 double crochet clusters in row number 5. Right, so we've come to the end of row number 5. I'm just going to chain 1, and then I am going to single crochet into the last chain 3 space, and this is what it should look like. So right here I'm just slip stitching to close row number 5 back to where we started from. Then for row number 6, it is going to be a repeat of row number 4, which is the single crochet back loop. So you chain 1 and then you do a single crochet in the back loop. Then you're going to chain 3, go into the petal and around, wrap it around, and then you're going to do a single crochet, chain 3, insert your crochet hook into the petal from back to front, do a single crochet, then chain 3, and you're going to repeat till you have a total of 8 chain 3 spaces. Okay, so this is our last of our chain 3. I'm just going to slip stitch from where we started, and then I am going to close the round. That's it for row number 6. Row number 7, which is our last round, you're just going to go into one of the chain 1 and into one of the chain 3 spaces. You do a slip stitch, chain 3, and into that chain 3 space you are going to put 8 double crochets. So if you did a chain 3, you need to put 7 double crochets now, because the chain 3 counts as a stitch. When you have all 8 of your double crochets, you're going to chain 1 and you're going to slip stitch into that very same chain 3 space. Then you're going to chain 1 and you're going to go into the next chain 3 space, and you can start this space with a slip stitch or with a regular double crochet, whichever is fine. If you do start with a slip stitch, just know that you're going to chain 3 to start, and of course you're going to put 8 double crochets in there, so that it makes it you're going to put 7 double crochets in there, so it makes it a total of 8. So all the petals here are made up of 8 double crochets. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Okay, so you're going to chain 1, slip stitch into that same chain 3, chain 1, and like I said, you can start the next chain 3 space either with a double crochet or with a slip stitch, then chain 3. That depends on you. Here I just started it with a regular double crochet. So you put 8 double crochets in there, then chain 1 and slip stitch in there. Repeat the same pattern until you get to the end. So here I just alternated the colors of some of the roses. I did on the last row, I did like a red color at the ends, and some, I think one of them I did like a pink, red, and pink. Another one I had just like a pink and red. So you can alternate the colors, you can mismatch them. Some of them I just had a solid pink and some of them a solid red, which you're going to see in a minute. Here we go. So here are my roses. I did a total of 9. I should have probably done more because my hat was quite big. So just go ahead and do the number of roses that you think is going to be okay to make like the brim fuller. I feel like I would have made the brim fuller, but 9 were just like a perfect fit. If I were to scrunch them up together, it would have made it like a fuller fit. They were just a perfect fit, which was fine as well. So I did 9 of them for mine. If you have like a smaller size hat, you probably have to do 8. So do them whatever color you want, alternate it the way you want. Like I said, I mismatched a few couple of the roses, which I really didn't like the way they turned out. Like the mismatch was, I really liked the way the bold singular color ones came out. So yeah, right, this is the easier part, I think. Now we're just going to attach the flowers to the brim, and that's it. And here I did not do this, but I do recommend like sewing it, especially if you want to wear this like continually. So I just use like the tail. This is me just marking the ends. I just use like the tail at the bottom that I used to make like the magic ring of each flower to attach it, because I was going to use the flowers for something else, so I didn't attach it too tight. So if you are going to use this to like sell to someone or for yourself for your everyday wear, you should definitely use like a darning needle to sew everything together, like sew it tight. So the middle, just the middle part, don't touch the petals, just sew the, what's it called, the magic ring part very tightly to the brim. So I did most of the, here I was doing tying, not sewing, and I was using my crochet hook to like move the yarn. I did it onto between row number 2 and 3 of the brim. Okay, so you just attach them and sew them on there. I am probably just going to let you guys watch it. Yeah, I use a darning needle and do like a proper sewing so that the petals hold together. What am I saying, petals? The flowers really hold together so they stay nice and tight and they don't go anywhere. So yeah, just make sure that you're placing each and every one of them like the proper way. I'm just going to let you guys watch. Let me not talk too much. Okay, so when you're done with one petal, of course, you're going to grab the other one and then you're going to repeat. So do you see those tails hanging at the edge, like when you're done doing the roses? Yeah, I use those to like attach each petal to, why do I keep saying petal? I use each of those like hanging threads to attach each flower to like the side of the petals. You're going to see it in a bit. Like I attach each flower petal to the other one. I'm going to show you in a minute. Yeah. So here's what I mean right here. You see that tail that ended like row 7 of the petals. I just took that tail and I attached it to row 7 of the other petal and I tied it. Like I said, I wasn't doing it like too strong because I did want to take down this project. I was just like doing a tutorial and taking cute photos. I was going to use the flowers for something else. Yeah. So yeah, I just attached them which you can't do again. But if you do attach it, like sew it very strongly in the middle to the hat, it is going to, you know, be a perfect fit, kinda. It will hold on nice and strong. You don't need to like sew the petals down because it's going to make the petals flat. So we don't want the petals to be flat. We want them to look like a ruffle type of thing. So don't sew the petals down. Right, so when you're done sewing all of your petals, this is what it should look like. Like I said, you can make it more fuller by, you know, trying to squeeze them in, let them fit perfectly. I think I could have squeezed in like 12 of the petals in there for a fuller look. But like I said, they just fit here and it's not too bad. So you can go ahead and try this in whatever color that you want, whatever style. Let me know if you do this. I really like to see your results and what color schemes do you think you're going to do with this. Send it to me in my email. It's going to be in the description box. And yeah, just tell me the color schemes that you think will work with this and tell me if you're going to try it. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.